I've had this orchid for about a year now, and I wanted to share a couple of things about it. One about its roots, and the other about stems. The how to take care of it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and they all said that you need to cut off black roots right away. Oh, they're gonna go bad. And so, okay, I'm back on. Anyway, I I've had it for about a year. I got it at Home Depot, and it came nicely packed in a little pot and soil that it's supposed to be in. But I wanted to raise it in water instead. I thought it would look prettier. So I took it out and tried it. Uh, it had more roots than it looks like it does right now at that time, and they started turning black after I put it in water. So a couple of them I followed the instructions. I didn't want to take all of its roots off. I was afraid. I took off the couple of the black ones, like there in the front. You can see there's. Oops. I'm gonna put it down so I could turn it around. So you could see in the front there are no roots in the front because I had cut them off. But I was afraid that if I cut all of the black roots off, it would die, and I have no way of drinking water. So the other roots, I had peeled them, and that's what these little things are. And I left it with only these type of root, the inside part of the root, the core of the root. I peeled all the outside off because it was smushy, and it slid right off, like the shell of a pen, just slipped right off. Anyway, so it stayed like that, growing root back slowly over the course of a year. It actually lived by these little core pieces of the root and kept itself alive that way. So you can see that the root grew back a bit, went down underneath, and started to turn black. But look, all of its new growth is bright green. All of this that you're looking at is new growth, bright green. It's just happened since like January. And all those videos were like, oh, the black root, it's gonna kill your plant, it's gonna this, that, and the other. And no, it isn't. Even the little white powdery, what looks like mold here, has been benign. It hasn't done any harm. It hasn't gotten any worse. And the plant doesn't seem to mind it whatsoever. It's flourishing. So I would just say to anybody that's trying this out, don't feel afraid. Just do the best you can. If you have like worried feelings, peel your roots, outer piece off, and leave this core hanging in the water, and go ahead and continue to water it. It'll grow back. I keep mine in a west window, and it doesn't get direct sun because the roof overhang is wide, and it just gets the bright light. But you can see it likes the amount of bright light it's getting because it's turning nice bright red color, which is good. That's a healthy sign when your leaves are nice and dark. And since it's gotten its new roots and new growth, it hasn't dropped any leaves. It's been staying nice and dark. And the other thing I wanted to say is a lot of these videos, cut your blossom stem back, cut it all the way back. So this had 2 stems, and you can see I had cut one back right there. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to try one without and one with. And I left this one. And I had even cut it back further here because it looked like it was really like not wick in here anymore. It was only dry. But I have seen like how bright green it's gotten to the very tip here, and I wish I had left the other piece. This piece here tried to grow in the wintertime in December, and I broke it. And look, it just came right back. It broke, and I left it there, and it was just kind of hanging. You know, I left it alone. But look, the very piece that was left broken and hanging grew back. It just come to life. So there's nothing saying that stuff needs to be all cut back and cut off and, you know, micromanaged. I think a plant is capable of improvising for itself to a great degree. Anyway, don't feel too worried about what all these YouTube videos are saying about, you know, you're killing your plant, this, that, and the other thing. I find them to be extremely hardy and want of their own free will to thrive very much, and they do. It's a hardier plant than I think I've ever heard them to be. I understood them that they were delicate and hard to manage and all these things, and I always had wanted an orchid that would bloom because I had gotten one years ago, and the blooms fell off, and then they didn't seem like they came back for a year. Well, that's because it was sitting in what it was packaged in a little pot, and that's part of the reason too why I wanted to take it out of the pot, and I didn't want the roots to rot in the pot, you know. I was hoping it would have a better chance on its own in water, and it looks so organic and beautiful in water. So give it a try. And what's the worst can happen? I got this on sale, 50 off. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a perfect plant to be a really good plant. Give it what it likes and it'll thrive.